Okay, good morning everyone. So last time I have teach you guys about how to create the PBR material based on Polyheaven and also using the node editor to create a realistic material. So now it's time for us to combine all the model we made and assign material for them so that we can be ready for our midterm. So how can we import the model into one file if you do them in separate file? Actually, it's very easy. So let's turn on another file first. For example, I have turned on, let's start with the first one, for example, like a monkey man. So right now I have this model, and before we import this one, I want to do some management about the model. So for example, select all of them, and I hope the entire model could move based on this base. So deselect this one and select the base as the last object and press Ctrl P for set parent to the base. So now once we move, everything will move, follow the base. So next part, select everything, Ctrl C, and go back to the file which we want to put, Ctrl V to put the object. So now it was inside. Okay, so let's just repeat to do this operation to open up a new file and probably the trend, and make sure you have set the parent relationship as well. Okay, so for now it looks fine. I don't need the light and camera, so just select everything, press Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Now it was here. And don't forget to move them to the other place so that they will be not intersected. So let's just repeat this operation to finish or to put all of the model inside using Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Okay, so now through the repetitions, we have import, copy paste all the model into the model which we want to use for combine everything. And before we do the next operation, I hope we can do some, let's say, management about our models. So for example, probably we can try to put all of them into separate layers. Right now they are all inside one collections, but actually we can try to manage this one. So for example, like put the bird, press M to the new collections, and I will call this one M bird and press OK. Alright, and let's take a look, view layers. So right now we have this layer so that we can manage this model. And also for the monkey man, I want to put this one into another layer. Press M and create a new layer, and I will call this one M monkey man. So through the control of visibility, we can turn off the model. For the trend as well, I want to do the same things. Press M, new collection, press M and trend. The M usually in my operations, it means model. And if we are going to do something else, maybe I will change the name. So now we can turn off this one. And for the base, I think we can just put this one, maybe just in the same location, or let's create a new one as well. New collections, and press M and base. And for the building and tree, let's just put all of them into one layers. Press G and X. Put all of them into one layers, one collections, and let's call this one M deco. Okay, so for now I think it looks fine. And also let's turn on everything. We need to do some adjustment about the size and also the size and the proportion. And also probably while we import the file, if we copy paste some unnecessary material, we can also do cleanup right here. Let's go to open data, and you can choose in purge and it will tell you, okay, right now you have a lot of unnecessary data and you're using purge to clean up them. Right now, I think right now it's very clean. So let's go back to view layer. Don't forget to save your file, since right now it's a new one. So I will call this one combine and save your Blender file. Okay, so probably the monkey man is supposed to be smaller compared to the building. So let's press S for scale. And also for the bird, for sure, it's supposed to be the smallest one. And for the building, I think you can just keep all the everything like this. And for the trend, let's just scale all of them, make them smaller, maybe like this. And for the base, I saw this one's supposed to be larger so that we can put everything inside. And for the plate, I hope it could be smaller. Okay, just like this. So right now we have finished the preparations of the model. So let's save again. Okay, so now it's time for us to do the material setting. So, but for now, if you take a look of the model, actually most of them doesn't have any material inside. So how can we import the material which we have already done before? Like, for example, let's turn on the material which we have done before. This is a PBR material which we have done before, and we're using the wooden textures and using node editor including normal map, roughness, and diffuse to create this kind of effect. But if I want to copy this material, do I have to copy the model as well? Yes, that's one way. So we can just do this. Copy the box and copy to here. So now we will have this material right here. The name is normal. So that's one way to do that. Another way is that we can go to File, Append, and every Blender file it will contain a lot of information inside. So let's go to the place which I put the model. Right here, texture 1. And if you double click the Blender file, you will see it contains a lot of folders inside one Blender file, including world, workspace, textures, scenes, palette, object, mesh, material, all these kind of things. So there are a lot of things inside. And if I want to import the material, you can just go to material. And as far as you can see now, we can see there is a material named normal. That's the material I want to use. So you can click this one, and right now if you click this box and click here, you can see you will have the normal material. So that's the way we can import the material. And for another one, link, you can link the material by this kind of hyperlink. So if you change another file, here it will also change as well. So that's another two way for us to import the file, to import the data. And finally, there is an import option, but this one is usually we are going to using import another different format file like FBX, STL, and or maybe something like a GLTF, this kind of universal format for 3D model. So that's something different. But inside Blender, we can just using copy paste and also link pen to do the importing information from another Blender file. Okay, so for now, let's start to do the material. So let's go to press Z and transfer everything to material preview. It would be better for you to see the result, and also it's not that consumed so much about your laptop power. So right now I have this one, but actually it's still not correct because this part probably is not the thing I want. But for now, I think it's okay because before midterm, I will not teach you guys about the UV unwrap and also UV drawing. So let's just keep like this. And I want to apply all the material here in one time. So how can I do that? Do I have to click and to drag to find the normal? Actually, no. Let's just select all of them and deselect the target one, reselect this one. So make this body as the last one and press Ctrl and L. We can choose in link material and then, okay, it doesn't work. Probably we have to do that again. Choose again and make sure the last one you select is become orange color and using your hotkey again, Ctrl and L, link material. So now everything will be applied the wood material. And I'd like to rename the material. So probably the name of the material I will call this one like M, light, or maybe yellow wood, which means light wood color. So that's the things I'm going to do. So for now I have this one, but actually for the trees, like the leaf right here, or maybe for the window frame and some area of the model, I want to change the color. But if I just change it right here, it will affect everything. So if you remember, we have to do some adjust. We have to copy this one. So let's press this icon, new material. And now they have created a new material bowl based on the ML wood material bowl. So let's click and I will call this one G wood. So for now this one is only for the trees. So let's split the window and go to shade editor. Okay. And now we can start to change the material. So if you remember, there are multiple ways for us to change the material. One way is that we can just use a mix shader. So let's press Shift A and then go to the and create another principal BSDF right here. And let's give this one a green, in the base color part, let's give this one a green color. And then let's create another node right here before the material output. Press Shift A and create mix shader right here. So for now we can connect the original wood material and also mix with the color material right here. Okay, so for now let's connect this one to the surface. So as far as you can see, now the wood has the color. So through control the vector, you can make this one become more green. And if you go control the vector to 1, it will totally become the wood color. And if you control this one to more smaller, well, it will become green color. But if I do this way, if for example I want the color become much more green, but I just using this one make the vector more close to 0, it will lose the pattern of the wood. So that's not the things I want. So how can we fix that? Actually, we can do another way. So that first thing, let's press Shift A again. Another way for mix color is mix RGB. We can use mix RGB to mix two different type of color or textures. So just like this one, we can import different type of textures or different kind of color right here. So for example, let's import the polywood texture to color 2. And let's choose in the color one as the green color. Make it a little deeper, darker. And then we don't need this one anymore, so we can just directly connect this one to the final, and we will delete the principal BSDF. And then let's connect this one to the base color. So the magic happen, we can get this result. So for now, you can change the color right here, but without lose the pattern. And also you can change different way for mix the color. For example, If you want, you can change to multiply, it will be darker. And you can choose in screen, it will be lighter. Okay, but I would prefer just using mix, and it will be fine. And you can change the color right here. So now it's pretty much finished. So let's do the same thing for all these objects. For example, if I want to give this one or this one, for this one the same material. So let's just choosing this model and choosing this one as the last one. Press Ctrl and L, link the material. Okay, and for the rest part, I want to create another green one. So let's do it in a very fast way. Choose the ML wood and create a new one, and I will call this one GU2. It's better for you guys to do remain the material. Otherwise, once you have too many material, you don't know what kind of material could you have select. So let's press Shift A again and using Mix RGB right here. And let's change the color, maybe lighter. Okay, so now we have this one, and I wanna this one be stronger, or yeah, just like this, it will be fine. And let's connect them, Ctrl and L, link material. So for now it looks fine. And another one is that I want to have some part which has deeper wooden color. So let's do this, okay? So let's copy again. Sorry, not this one. Let's copy again, and let's call this one D wood. And we can change the color right here. So probably just white and black. Right. So now we have. And which part I wanted to give some deeper dark color, like the leg of the music box, and also the plate itself, and also maybe the hand and the base of the monkey man, and also his backpack, his hand, head, and also the bird's leg and its peak. So let's try to do that, and we can assign deep wood color. Okay, so is that any change? Probably not that much, so we have to make this one stronger. Sorry for that, probably it doesn't work. Let's try undo. That again, let's choosing then, hand, base, backpack and head, the peak, and let's change the material right here. Okay, so now we have, and for now, sorry for that, because once we change, we will only change one time, one material, one object, so it will not change all of them. So that's okay, we can do this, change one object, and then select all of them. Select the target as the final one, Ctrl and L, link material. So now all of them have been assigned the MD wood material. Let's do the trick again, select all of them. And choosing the target, Ctrl and L, link the material. Probably it's not darker enough, so I hope we can be more dark. So let's using maybe 0.6 and change the color. And I hope it could be darker. Okay, so for now it looks fine. So not only about this one, you can choose them by yourself. Maybe even for the font itself, I want to change into MD wood. And also for the trend, I want to change for the, especially for the frame. So for example, like this, I think we simply miss the another window, but it doesn't matter. We can fix that later. And also this side, the window, the door as well. You can change the door and also the side window decoration right here. For this part, you can do by yourself. You can choose in which part you want to change the color, which one you want to keep like this. So you don't have to completely follow my operation. Okay, so also the window frame. And once you finish, you can choose in the target, Ctrl L for link the material. Alright, So for now, I think it's pretty much done. And also the wheel. I want the wheel become much more thicker and darker. So let's choosing them, Ctrl and L, link the material. Alright, and for this part and the door, let's do the same trick. Ctrl L, link the material. And how can we fix this part? Actually, you still can do that. So first things, let's go to Tab key. First thing we have to find the middle line of this model. So let's go to wireframe mode and let's take a look. So probably the middle line we can choose in this one. We can choose in here. So let's do this. Choosing this one, this model, we have to set the original point to the middle. So right now, first things, let's go to tab mode of this object, select the points and shift and S to move the cursor to selected and press tab. Go back to object. And now let's move the center of this object to the cursor. So let's go to object, set origin to 3D cursor. Now it was here. So for now we can use in modifier and using mirror modifier to another side and choosing apply and it will be done. So now we have fixed the problem. Let's go back to here. It looks fine for now. And also for the light, I want to do some customization. We can still apply the light to the deep wood color, but for this one, for the light itself, I want to apply a new texture. So let's go to edit mode, select the light right here, and I want to go to material bow and create a new one. And the new one, the name of the new one is, let's call this one M Light. So for this one, I want to keep this one simple, and don't forget to click assign, otherwise it doesn't work. So for this one, I will choose in yellow color, and we can give this one glowing color emissions and glowing yellow color. Emission strength you can make this one stronger, maybe into 30. And for now, it doesn't have much difference. Why is that? Because we haven't changed the to render mode, so it can just keep like this, and then we're working on the setting. And again, here let's do the same thing, create a new material, and this one will be M Light, and don't forget to click assign. Okay, and for the top part, well, we can do that as well. So let's go to here, press tab key, go to edit mode, and create a new material, and this one is M Light. Don't forget to assign. Alright, so now we have the material, and for the architectures also we can do the same things. And sometimes you might think, okay, this looks weird, some part it doesn't look have the right geometries. So in order to fix that, we can just using a very simple way. Let's go to press the architecture, go to the tab key and select everything, press L so that you can select more. Okay, you can select all of them by press L, and then right click and choosing, okay, it's not here. Go to the face mode, right click, UV unrefresh, smart UV projections, and click OK. So for now, it will automatically make the UV map, which means the texture become the right proportions. But still there is some little detail, like the direction of the wooden pattern is not correct. So for that, we have to add a UV, but that's something different and more complicated. So I will leave that part after the midterm. Alright, so let's do the scenes. Let's finish the texture assignment. So for this one as well, let's go to tab key, select face, press L for select more. And for this one, let's do the same trick. Press L for select more, and right click on wrap faces, smart projections, and to fix the proportions. And for this one as well, let's do the same trick. L, L, L. And right click on wrap faces, smart UV faces, so to fix the distortions. And for this one, I hope, well, it's up to you. We can try to change certain part material like this one. Hold on your shift auto key so that you can do ring selection, or go to front view. Let's go to wireframe mode and select everything on the top, and let's choosing create another new material. and choosing deep wood color and choosing assign. Okay, so maybe also for the button you can do the same thing, assign. Let's go to the tab key and take a look of the review. Alright, so for the bottom part it becomes some more darker material. And for another one, let's just keep like this, okay? Or if you want, you can change. For example, like the top part, go to the tab key and using wireframe mode, select everything right here, and also you can go to front view to select everything in the middle. Well, actually we can do it in a very quick way. Select all of them and assign the material. And let's create a new one and go to the MD root and assign. Okay, so I think it's pretty much finished. Let's go to the material preview mode, press the Z key, and you can go to material preview mode. This part looks a little weird, but I will just leave like this. Or if you want to fix for sure, let's go to here and the wireframe mode and go to tab key to go to the material selection mode. Select all of them and also select the material right here and assign. Okay, so don't forget to go to the material preview to check the result. Alright, so now we have finished this one. So it's time for us to go to put all of them together. So for this one, I think there's something wrong. So let's change to M green. Alright, so now we have everything. Also for this one, I want to change the color. So let's change this one to MD wood, the darker one. So now we have finished the material setting, the basic one. Don't forget to save your file. And now we can put all of them together on the pieces of the music box. So don't forget to copy a new one because I want to keep this one, the model set assets. Still after the midterm, we will keep working on this one and including rigging to set animation, and it's better for you to using the simple positions like this kind of T or A pose or the simple model like this to do the modification. And once you rotate or do some modification, it will be really hard to do the rigging and another adjustment. So I will keep these things like this, and don't forget I will copy another one. Press Shift D, press G and X. So that's the backup. We were using this one after the midterm. So now it's time for us to put everything right here, and I can just hide them. Okay, so let's go to the front view and put the model to the music box. Probably this part is too high, so let's select the plate, press G and Z. G and Z, move this one down. And let's select the building, press G to move this one here. Press G again, move them here. Press G and for moving. And if you think it is too large, you can still press S for scaling down. And we have to go to the top view to check the positions. So maybe the highest one was in the middle. That's using the gumball. This one is a little handle to control the position and the size. So this one is in the middle. And for the other two, let's move them to another side and maybe rotate a little bit. Press R and Z for rotation. And for this one as well, let's move and press R and Z for rotations. Okay, so make sure they have a touch of the ground. We can keep them have some distance. Okay, something like this. Go to the front view, check that positions. Maybe it could be insert into the plate. And for this one, it could be higher. Anyway, it's up to you. You don't have to completely follow my operation because I think all of your building is a little bit different. Okay, So next part, let's put the pole to the right position. So let's go to the front view and put the pole probably right here. Move this one to the right positions. Okay, and probably we need more. So let's press Shift D and move. One is in the front and one is in the back. Okay. And finally the trees. If you think it's too really annoying, you have to select all of them, or you have to find which one is the parent. You can just select all of them and choosing Ctrl J for join. Because for now we don't need to do the adjustment. So let's just Ctrl J to join all of them together. It will be easier for you. So let's go to the front view and put the tree in the right positions, and let's just do this in a very quick way. And if you think it's too large, you can still scale down the tree. Press S for scale down. Front view, press G. And maybe one is in the back and it's higher, larger. Okay, so go to the front view, the final one. Press G to move. And this one probably was in the center, but it have to be smaller. Press S for scaling down. Okay, so now we have the trees, and next part is about the bird. So that's choosing the body of the bird, that's the parent. Go to the front view, press G for moving. And for the bird, it's supposed to stand on the top of the post right here. Okay, and we can scale down more because it still looks a little bit huge, like some kind of a giant hawk. So let's scale down a little bit, and you can rotate. Press R and Z. You can do the rotations and move. And let's copy one more. So select all of them, Shift D again. And another bird I want to put on the top of the trees, maybe right here. So let's move to here and go to the front view. Select the parent, R and Z for rotations. Okay. Alright, so for now it looks fine. So final part is about our monkey man. So let's press G for moving, and we can still scale down this one. So scale down is supposed to be smaller than the trees, and maybe he was standing in the middle or maybe on the side. It's up to you. Press R and Z for rotation, and there's a little trick you can undo your modifications. For example, right now if you go to items, you can see you have dual rotation, scale down, and auto location. If you press Auto R, it will reset the rotation. If you press Auto G, it will reset the model to the original position. If you press Auto S, it will reset the scale. So that's the things we can do when we do a lot of modification, but what we want to go back, we can use in Auto G, Auto R, and Auto S. But for now I want to redo, so let's redo again. Go to Edit. Sorry for that, because we just jump out. So we have to redo everything. So let's put the monkey man right here, scale down, move to the right position. Okay, it's supposed to be in front, and go to the front view, rotate R and Z in the right positions. Okay, so now it's pretty much finished. I hope this one could be higher, so let's press A and Z to make the building higher. And I think all of them are supposed to be higher, so let's move them up. Press S and Z, make them higher. So this one as well. Okay, so now it's pretty much done. Let's adjust everything. Probably they have to be on the center. And for the train, how can we do with the train? Actually, train is a little bit complicated because for now we haven't set the track. So let's do this one in a manual way, and then after the class, after the midterm, we can do another different way for adjust the train and make this one follow the track to move. So first things, let's scale down and go to the front view, press G for moving. And for now the only things we can do is manually to rotate this one. So let's go to the top view and choosing the body, press R and Z for rotations, and let's move in the right direction, R and Z, and let's choose this one as well, R and Z. And again, R and Z. Okay. So for these kind of things, let's just scale up this one. So let's choose in this object connection part and choosing set origin to geometry and press S to scale up. And another little trick is that actually we can know what is the direction of this object. For now, we are just using the world coordinate setting. If you just press S and Z, you will scale in the world coordinate directions. So it's not the things we want. Okay? But if we using another way for scale up, for example, if we scale up in another way, we can just make them using its own coordinates to scale. So let's take a look. If we want to scale, but in the Z direction of the object, how can we do that? Let's use in this way. Press S and ZZ, and it will scale in the object itself based on the coordinate of the object. And let's do that again. Press S, Y, Y. So for now, as far as you can see, the original Y setting is based on the vertical direction, just like the world coordinator. But if you press S, Y, Y, it will become the object itself. Okay? So this is a little trick that we can control the object based on the object itself. So let's do that again. Set the original point to the connection part, origin to geometry, and press S and YY. So for now, we can extend on the direction of the object itself. Okay, so for now, I think it looks fine. Still a little bit too large, so probably we can do some adjustment. For example, I want to hide this train first. Let's press H for hiding, and also all the object right here. Okay, let's just go to here to uncheck the visibility of the train. And go to the front view, select everything. I want to scale down. Press S to scale down a little bit. So we will have more space for our trains. And let's call our train again. So for now they have more space. Let's go to the top view. Select all the trains right here and deselect all the objects and move them inside. And just like what I said before, it's not the official that's not an authentic way to set the model because actually we haven't settled down the skeletons, amateurs, and also the track for the trains. But in order to do the midterms, we can just do like things like in this way. Let's go to the front view and take a look of this one. If you want to scale down this one, well, we still can do that, but probably I will just stay like this. it's pretty much finished. So let's move this one to the original point right here. Okay, so I think it looks fine for now, but don't forget we still have this. Actually, we have to settle down, create a backup, but for now we don't need to use them. So press H to hiding them. So now it's time for us to prepare our midterms. And also, for sure, if you think there is some direction which looks weird, you still can do the fixment. So, for example, like this one, you can select all of them, press L for selections, and right-click, unwrap UV faces, smart UV projection, and make this one correct in the right way. Okay, so right now it looks okay for me. I will undo that because it seems like it was a little bit weird right here. Let's do that again. Smart UV project and recorrect the position and the proportion of the UV. Alright, so let's assume we have finished our model, although I know that we haven't finished the direction of the wooden pattern and also some detail setting, still we haven't done yet. But for now, I think that's the things we can do for the midterms. And for sure, you still can assign some more detailed material, but I will just keep the model like this. So let's do the rendering stuff. So now I don't need the sheet editor anymore, so let's close this one. So in order to close, the things we need to do, sometimes it will happen and a little bit annoying. So we need to move our object. Oh, you cannot more. We need to move. Put your mouse icon right here and move, move, move. Hold on your left mouse button more, and then it will become an arrow so that you can turn off the. You can use this one to merge with the window which you don't want to use. Okay, so now let's go back to the model mode, and it's time for us to set the lighting and set the camera, so it will be done. So let's using render mode. Right now we only have one light, so we can create more. And usually I prefer, rather than using this kind of point lighting, I prefer to using area lighting, something like this. And you can enlarge the size of the area, and also you can change the directions of the area lighting, and you can change the shape into square, rectangle, disc, or ellipse. Okay, so but it doesn't have much difference. So let's set the lighting first. Usually when I'm working on this type of modeling, this type of lighting, I prefer go to the top view. And first thing for sure, there is a major lighting right here. You must go from the right side to the left side. It's up to you. You can put it in the mirror side as well. And let's go to the front view. Move this one up. Okay. And then copy this one again. This one the major light is supposed to be the strongest. So it could be maybe 2000. It's up to you. You can try. And also you can change the color as well. If you want a warm color, you can change to maybe more like a orange one or a yellow one. And let's copy this one. Another light is supposed to be in the inverse directions, like this way, but it have to be much more weaker than the first one. So let's type in maybe 1000 or just maybe 800 will be fine. Okay, so the major lights come from here, and the secondary light come from another side, maybe even more weaker, too weak. So maybe 750. Okay, so for the last one, it comes from the back side. So let's copy again. Go to the back view and choosing the light to here. Go to the front view. Go down. Top view again. And this one's supposed to be the weakest, so maybe just 300 will be fine. Alright, so now we have finished the light setting. And also, if you remember, there is a little trick we can do. In order to make the light glowing. So let's go to render setting and choosing bloom ambient occlusion. And don't forget to choose the screen space reflection. Although for now we don't have any glass setting, but still we can choose that one. So I think for now the light is pretty much finished. I think we can enlarge this one. Okay, so the light is pretty much finished, and then we can create a ground for the model. So let's press Shift A to create a mesh plane and enlarge this one. Make this one down, go down, and press S and X again. Enlarge this one. S and X. And let's go to tab key, choosing the H right here, extrude, press E for extrusions. And let's press G and Z for more. Okay, sorry, not in the right direction. Let's do that again. Press G and Z, okay, E and Z. Okay, so now it looks fine. Let's choose in the H and press Ctrl B for beveling so that you can create a smooth background. We don't have to assign the material for this one, so it doesn't matter. But we have to set the environment lighting for the environment. So let's go to world property. Right here, actually, you can change the environment lighting right here. Or you can choose in color, click the dot right here, and choose in back environment textures. And you can download the environment texture from internet, like something like Polyheaven or HDRI Heaven. You can download the HDRI file from the website. So I'd like to use in environment textures. And if you didn't import any kind of environment texture, it will look like this kind of color. So let's go to open to assign a specific file for the environment textures. Let's choose open up. And the one I want to choose is something which I used before. I will choose this one, Start Up HDRI. It's an interior lighting, and I really like that, and very useful. So for this one right now, I have applied HDRI lighting textures, so I can use in the environment lighting for light up the environment. But for now it's too strong, so let's just reduce the number into 1. Press enter, or maybe let's even smaller, that's 0.7 or something. Okay, still too large, so 0.3 or 4. Okay, if you think it's too light, well, still you can change a little bit, maybe just 0.1. Okay, alright, so I guess that's the result. And if you prefer stronger contrast, maybe you can still reduce the number, so 0.1 will be fine. Okay, I will just keep like this, and let's start to do a render. So how can we do the render? Before we do the render, we need to assign a camera. So for now, don't forget to save your file, otherwise you will lose everything you've done before. So first things, let's go to the camera setting. How to go to the camera? Camera is right here. So if I want to know where the camera look, I can just press 0 on the number pad, and you will go to the view of the camera. And press 0 again, you will jump out. But it will be very annoying, so probably you have to split another window. And right here, press 0, and this one you can change and move. It's not very intuitive at all. So another way is compared to split the window, we can just use a little trick. Let's move the window back. So let's go to the view, select the window, jump out the camera first, and select the camera, and press 0, and go to the view right here, choosing camera to view. So for now, you can adjust the position of the camera through the navigations operating. So for now, you can choose the position 1. And for the midterm render, you're supposed to be set at least 200 by 200 resolution. So let's set the resolution first. Let's go to the render output right here and change the resolution to 2000 by 2000. Okay, and also once you finish, you can change the you can see the proportion become a little bit different, and you can change the position of the window of your camera. So for example, that's the things I want to do, or maybe close-up view. And also you can change the focal length of your camera. So maybe I want the largest, okay, something like this, into 80. Alright, so maybe I want to save this one. So once you finish your setup, you can uncheck this one and jump out the window. And if you press 0 again, you will be a 9. You will go back to the position which you have set before. And another one is that we still can copy another camera. So let's choose in the camera first. And you can add a new one. So let's press Shift A, go to camera right here, and you can create a new one. Or you can just Shift D for copy another one. And how can we enter the new camera? If you press 0, you will go to the default one. And if you choose in a new one and press Ctrl and 0, you can jump to the new camera. So let's change the position of the new camera. So maybe this time I want to zoom in to see the detail of the model, like this, and jump out. So let's take a look of the result. Ctrl 0 to this one, and 0, Ctrl 0 to another one. Okay, so once you finish your setting, probably I'd like to change a little bit of this one, and I want to enlarge the tree right here. Maybe put the tree right here. It looks more balanced on the entire proportions of the image. And also move the building right here. Okay. Okay, so I think for now I have finished the setting of the model. So how can we do the render? Very easy. Let's go to the position I want to render. That's the first one. And you can just press the hotkey F12 and or go to render key right here. And before that, we have to do some setting of our model, of our rendering. So for now, that's the things where you are going to put, and you can choose in the color dips. Usually, I will just stay in 8, and if you want a higher result, you can choose in 16. And the format of the file, because for now it's just still image, so you can just choose in PNG or JPEG, and I will stay in JPEG PNG. And right now we are not going to use in animation, so you don't have to choose in frame rate or another frame range, things like that. But you can change is about render property. You can change the shadow quality right here, and maybe higher resolution. Okay, so the shadow will looks better. Okay, and for the other one, I will just keep like this. For now, we don't need to do that. So once you finish the render setting, let's press the render, or you can just press F12 and make sure you know where to put the file. You can choose in the certain location you want, and probably I will just choose in downloading and right here instance right here and accept. And once you finish, press F12 and you will start to render. Right now, because we are using Eevee, so Eevee usually is super fast, just probably 1 minute, 1 second, it will be finished. And once you finish, if you are not so sure whether it has saved or not, you still can use an image, save to save your file. So let's go to instance again. So right now I think it was here, but you can save another one just in case, okay? So maybe Let's codify P1 and save the image. Okay, and you still can do some adjustment about the color right here, right now. As far as you can see, change the color depth to 16 or change your RGB to BW, things like that. Okay, so once you finish, let's go to another one. Another window, another camera, press Ctrl 0 to do another render. I want to adjust a little bit of the position of the camera. Okay, so save the file and press F12 again. Okay, just around 5 minutes. Okay, I don't like this one, so let's adjust a little bit. Move this one up. Maybe I just need more trees. Okay, something like this, and press F12 again. Okay, pretty much finished. So let's save the file, image, save again. Let's call this one P2. Alright, so now we have saved all the file and the model is pretty much finished. So I think that's all for our midterm. So the things you guys you have to submit to me is your finished model, including the one which you finished the setting, and also the one of your model assets, just like this, and you have assigned the basic material to them. And also you have to render at least 2 rendering to me, and it has nice detail, nice light setting. And if you copycat other guy's model, or you just using the model which I gave you as an example, it will not be accepted, and I will see that as a cheating. So be careful of that, okay? And try to do your best, and I believe if you follow our class, it will be fine for you. Alright, so that's all for today, and see you next time.